Hey,
Hey
y'all.
y'all. I hope you've not just had a good day, but a great day. This is Advice in Southern Tales. Y'all, this is for entertainment purposes only. Anything we say is our.
Opinion. It's not our advice, it's our opinion.
We did a podcast earlier, but Amanda got a phone call. Her husband's out of town. He had to call. Aren't you glad this isn't going out tonight so people wouldn't know you were home alone?
Exactly. I thought about that when you said that.
I did too. Because you're scary and you watch all those movies. It was minutes into it. Maybe we can make some reels off of it.
Well, it shows the flaws we had. It's not supposed to be that way. That's us trying to figure out how to do this. Really, you do it.
Yeah, I don't know how you had two heads. I'm not trying to scare anybody. This isn't a scary story. What I mean, two heads.
When you put pictures on the collage, I was
Yeah,
two of them and you were one.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I
I
guess
hate it because I don't even like to look at that one, but that's us.
we got a comment today from one of our classmates. When the ice storm would come, we'd get the three-wheeler, and our friend commented that that wasn't a sign, it was an old car hood. They probably went out to the junkyard and got it off one of those old cars, or maybe it was in somebody's yard.
But the car hood, you could fit more people in, like
Yeah,
riding on a roller coaster or the swing machine.
remember when we would go to the drive-in on Sunday night, we would
Yeah.
have 10 people sitting up on the car hood if you didn't have a truck to put in there backwards.
I wish they were still around. Now, in the summertime when it's real hot, you'd have to crank your car up every now and then and cool it off a little bit. It was good.
It was hard to hear at the drive-in theater because they had that little bitty speaker.
I do remember that.
We didn't have any Bluetooth that would go to our headphones and make it come in clear either. If you was eating your popcorn too loud or slurping your Coke, everybody else would be, shh, we can't hear.
Do you remember that concession stand? Now, I'm short, but that thing, the ceiling felt right there on top of my head.
No. I always wondered, I had a neighbor, he was 7 foot tall and he played basketball at Houston.
Pretty
He was so tall, he couldn't even snuck in there in the trunk like we used to do sometimes.
we could have only fit him because we used to pile about 4 or 5 in there at one time and shut the trunk and say, don't say a word until we get past the gate.
We played a trick on one of our friends. He got in the trunk and we acted like the law. We used to call it the law. Stopped us and he was in the trunk. When we got back rolling, we said, they're making us go to the police station. They're following us right behind us. He was scared to death because he was sneaking in the drive-in. And then we got on out to the drive-in, and I think I got out. We didn't pull up to that little bus stop looking
Ticket
thing.
box.
Ticket box, yeah.
Yeah.
Went up there and paid. Then we parked at the drive-in, and we're like, we're at the police station, and we opened the trunk and we was at the drive-in.
We didn't do that too many times. It was one or two that slipped in every time. That is bad. I've asked forgiveness for it and I donate, money and stuff to places. So I feel like I've made my peace. Back then was when your mama in high school, she'd give you $2 and tell you to have fun. That'd go a long way.
If somebody can remember how much it costs to get in the drive-in, comment.
But I know one thing, we didn't get a $20 bill in our hand until you got a job.
I got a job when I was little girl. Dog sit for my neighbor. Her dog was named Little Bit.
That's cute.
The worst part was it died. The dog was like 20 years old.
Yeah.
But I hated it.
I never did have a job until I graduated beauty school. I started doing hair at 19, almost 20. I didn't have a job. My mama had 2 sets of kids, but by the same daddies. He's all of our daddies. But Lana, that's our manager, is 15 years younger than me. So when I was 15, I was babysitting her when I came home. And Priscilla.
We used to take the furniture truck, the middle school, and make it backfire.
It was because we were in the driver's seat and could do that.
And we were trying to embarrass him because we weren't staying at that school. We were going to the high school.
We had graduated from that school.
Except when everybody got in trouble and they sent us back to the middle school.
I don't know about that punishment because, yes, it was humiliating that we had to go back to middle school after we were in high school. The worst
We
part
could have
was us sitting at that meeting with all the superintendents and the principals,
just
the
like that
whole group,
teacher that took the whole room out in the
and paddled us,
hall.
even if you wasn't guilty. All I know is I didn't want to tell on anybody, so I just went along with it, and we all got in trouble.
You weren't gonna be a snitch.
No,
Mm-mm.
I just took the punishment. We had to sit in the library. I think it was 6 weeks in the middle school.
I remember another friend, she and I got a new set of report cards because we weren't doing good in the math
I know
class.
who you're talking about.
I think it was geometry or algebra. I told her, I said, you can buy a new report card for 25 cents. So we had a little report card on paper for every class.
Yes.
So all you had to do was just say, I lost it and go get a new one and
That's
then
right.
keep the old one. And you could put whatever grades you wanted to.
Look, mine goes deeper than that. I never even got the fake. I signed every report card I ever got. I remember looking at my daddy's signature and I got it down pat, just like him. And I signed every report card. And I do remember them asking me, when are you going to get your report cards? Because they didn't send out stuff on the email or nothing. We didn't have that.
Oh,
But daddy, he'd say, when you going to get your report card? I'd be like, well, soon. We're going to get it real soon. And I signed it the whole time.
one time my daddy had a note for me to check out of school, and they was like,
Hmm.
he didn't write this because usually it was my handwriting.
Back in our day, we just called Aunt Grace.
She'd just check us out. We'd go over in the payphone in the commons area, call Aunt Grace and say, Aunt Grace, we want to check out. Then she couldn't remember your name when the secretary would call her, and she'd go, just let her out. Let her out. I don't remember her name. Funny.
She was old. She was
Back to the
old.
story. We decided to get those extra report cards. She was putting A's on hers. Now, I didn't want to make Mama
That
think it,
overdue.
well, her mama was a math teacher. She wanted to look good in math, and
Hmm.
I would just put me a B. I was happy for a B. My mother ran into our principal. He said, I'm surprised that Leah's not doing any better in algebra. And Mama said, well, Leah's got a B in algebra. I went, I don't think so. Let me call you. So he looked it
Hmm.
up. I had a D. So
Yeah.
I was warning our friend that we were busted. I'm like, what we need to do is tell your mother before the principal calls that maybe you're close to failing and we need to give her a heads up. She's like, you got to come with me. So I went with her, and when we told her mother, she fainted.
She fainted.
She fainted in the
So
kitchen.
y'all went in there and fessed up.
Yes.
Do you know when I fessed up was after I got out of school, I'd had a baby. One time they were over here visiting at my house and we got to looking at old pictures, the photo albums, and a stack of report cards and daddy found them and he started looking through them. But see, they would have been happy because I had straight D's. That was good for
Well,
me.
that was
That
passing.
meant I passed. That's all I wanted
Right.
to do is pass.
That's all you have to have is a D.
I was last chair clarinet.
You were the last chair?
Yeah. Every time that the center of attention was on me, I could not perform. Scared. I got stage fright.
Well, I never got the first chair either.
You know, for some reason, I was having a mind block on. Then I realized, yeah, Leah played the flute.
Remember that I played the cymbals because after I got my braces, it went like, and I couldn't play it good, so they put me on the cymbals. My favorite song was the national anthem because 2 times I'd get to slam them together.
That is
Well, I was a
so
little bit
funny.
embarrassed. I think the next year I quit band,
You wore those white gloves, didn't you?
couldn't blow into the flute because it's like,
We were going at 15, 40 miles away down to the orthodontist by ourselves. The one that would backfire. If we saw a deer, all I'd have to do is put on the clutch and mash the gas and it back, and the deer would run.
We needed that in your car that time we hit a deer.
I know.
I don't even think you were driving.
I went home that night and I took the blame because my daddy told me never, ever let anybody drive your car because the insurance is not covering somebody else. What did I do? Let somebody else drive my car and they hit a deer. I went home that night and I went in their bedroom and I said, Daddy, I hit a deer. And Mama said, you gonna go look at it? He said, I'll see it tomorrow. And he just went to sleep. I was scared to death to own up to that, but I took 100% of the blame. But like the report card, I've already confessed my sins. I told him a few years back all about that. But every time I've ever been scared to do that, like fess up, I get such the opposite results that I think I'm gonna get.
Well, one of our questions that we were emailed is if you could do anything differently, what would you do? This was to us. That was reminding me of raising children. If I could do anything differently, I think I would have been more honest with my children from the get-go. You know, you wanted to make your parents proud. So I would just rather lie than disappoint them.
That's what I was going to say, Leah. That reminds me, ADD moment. When we got in trouble and had to be sent back to middle school for that punishment, the most punishment for me out of that whole thing was the fact that we had to tell our parents. To me, that was the ultimate punishment. We wouldn't have had to go to the middle school. That was already punishment because I always wanted to please and not get in trouble. We were slick, but we got caught that time with the whole group.
Right. I think I would just be real from the get-go with my children because kids are real too. They have emotions and their brains don't even develop until they're late in their teens or 20. So I just think it's important to talk to them, especially in this day and age, as young as possible. I had this student one time and she started her cycle in 3rd grade. Maybe she was held back, but she was a couple of years older than the other girls. Her mother called me and I said, that's fine. She can go to the bathroom and take her little purse. Then she got out on the playground and told all the little girls that she started her recycle. The other mother started calling me going, my daughter doesn't know what that is. I was like, well, you know what? You better tell her because who do you want to give her the information? The child on the playground that started her recycle or her parent or somebody that can talk to her and tell her correct information?
I just knew it would all come out in the end anyway. I was the parent that kind of didn't want to tell it. Like, I've been real with them, but certain things I just felt like embarrassed almost to talk about it. Because I didn't talk about it with my mama. It just happened, got taken care of. Like when your cycle, all of a sudden the things appear that you need to take care of that and it's done. It's kind of the way I did mine. But I feel like I got more real with them the older they got.
Yes, I did too. I'm not saying tell your kids everything you've done your whole life when they're babies. I'm just saying as early as possible, be honest with your children. I just think it's better. Catherine Ann wanted to be in this pageant, but it wasn't like a beauty pageant because I always told her, I said, you don't have to be in those beauty pageants. I'm not going to pay to have somebody tell me you're beautiful, but because I just wasn't that mama. I wouldn't have known where to get the dress, how to do her hair. Had never had a girl. I'd had all the boys. In 11th grade, she came home and she said, Mama, can I be in the DYW? They used to call it the Junior Miss program. And I don't know if you've even heard of it.
What
they
is
don't
that?
have it in little towns like we grew up. Anyway, she said, Mama, they give out scholarships at this one. I'm like, oh, okay, you can do it.
Yeah, if you can do it.
She had to get prepped on interviewing because that was a big part of competition. It was about being fit, just all around good kid. She didn't win first place, but she got first runner up. For interview, they asked her if you could change one thing in history, what would it be? And I was thinking, Eve shouldn't have eaten the apple. or Hitler should have never been born. I was thinking all this good stuff.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't change anything, that I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm like, okay, my 16-year-old just taught me a very valuable lesson. Everything happens for a
Exactly.
reason. I think we are allowed to go through trials. I've always heard if you're not in a storm's coming.
I hear that every week.
When you have good health, be thankful.
On that pageant stuff, I always got really nervous when we would watch the pageant that had Miss Mississippi in. I would get more nervous of their questions than I would even the talent. What if that was me? I didn't have a talent, number one, but the question, I think, would freak me out more. I mean, I could tap dance because we took tap dancing, but that scared me. I only was ever in the sweet potato pageant.
Okay.
And I didn't win.
You didn't?
Yeah, no.
But did you put your daughter in pageants?
No, we went one time to this thing that was going around that was saying, make your kids a model. So I signed up and we went over there, and I think they wanted one of them and not the other one because being 6 years apart, one of them didn't have teeth when the other one did. That was the day that I thought, like you thought earlier, what? I'm not doing this. I don't even know why I did it in the first place. It's like Granny when she cooked that country dinner, she'd say, what do you think about it? And I'd say, it's good, Granny. Then we'd punch the next ones, be like, it's good, Granny, because they like to hear it. It's positive.
Everybody likes to be complimented sometimes.
Yeah, and I've kind of got her way too, a little bit.
A friend always talking up her husband, and he's always talking her up. I guess that's their love language. They talk about each other in a good, because most people don't talk about their husbands in a good way.
Most people have to vent.
Right. You even said that somebody told
Yeah.
that they had seen a clip from the podcast. I hadn't even told Eddie we're doing it.
Told him really of just a little bit. I hadn't shared it on my Facebook because I don't want him to see it. Yeah.
Did they come up and say, I like Amanda's podcast?
Amanda and Leah's podcast. Because, you know, we from the same town, so they know both of us.
What'd he say?
If I'm thinking back exactly, I can't quote him 100%, but it was something like this. Really? I hadn't seen it. I don't support it, but that's her. It's not me. Because I think we're going to embarrass ourselves. Because I told him, I kind of primed him and told him it's nothing fancy. It's just basically us talking about growing up. We answer questions and we put our own self under the bus. We're kind of making fun of ourselves. Our goal is to make everybody laugh every day. We want to make them laugh, but yes, we do have deep ones sometimes. Our main goal is to make everybody have a great day and feel good.
Not just a good day, but a great day. But every day's not like that.
When it comes to shopping, I'm like a vampire that can't go out into the sun. We'll do anything to get out of shopping. My leggings that I wear every day to work, I wear the same 3 pair for a whole year every day at work, and I just keep them in a cycle of washing. We would have had 15 pair of pants to alternate them, but now I just change out the shirt and wear the same pants. It's just, it's so weird how you just kind of evolve into growing older. And I'm not calling us old. Anybody out there listening, we are not old. It's only our opinion, but we are not old. But it is strange how things get more comfortable. But, you know, I think that's in a healthy way. I think that's to our benefit. Like, it's healthy that you know that if you don't clean every inch of your house every week, you're still going to live. It's okay.
I do know.
Either.
I remember one time when my kids were little, we had white tile. Now, I didn't choose that. I didn't build that house. If you got white tile, I hope you love it. But let me tell you, I didn't like it because I had small children and I had to mop my floor every day.
I've had that before too, and it's terrible, but I just had a funny thought. I literally used to break my back cleaning, cooking, getting the kids ready for school, sending them to school, doing the homework at night, going to work. It was like blah, 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 blah. Now, when my mama's coming back to visit and she's only slept on those sheets 2 nights, I don't go in there and wash those bed sheets again like I would have a long time ago. The tip for me is take a bounce sheet or a gain sheet, dryer sheet, and go in there and rub it on your sheets and on your
Mhm.
pillowcase, and it makes it smell like it just came out of the dryer.
That's a good idea. That's a good tip.
It makes it smell fresh. And I'm
Mhm.
saying if somebody different was coming, I would rewash the whole thing. But my mama only slept in that bed 2 days the last time she was here, and then it was going to be 2 nights this time. Your shirt you have
Well,
on, I really like that. What is that?
I got it at Amazon.
Like, is it
You
like one of the
know,
things we would wear to ski? Yeah,
no, it's kind of like a golf shirt or tennis
yeah.
shirt to
I
put on
like it.
if you get cold. I wear it to
Hmm.
work. It's so comfortable.
Yeah,
It's really comfortable. Well, we didn't do our sponsor break, but tonight we are sponsored by Leah Thaggart Swimming Lessons. Remember, safety before swimming. We're going to wrap it up right here, guys. We just want to say if you made it this far, thank you so much for your support, for listening, and please subscribe and follow. All
exactly.
right. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye.